There's Nugget in her basket. We call this Nugget's basket, but we often see one of the other kitties in it unauthorized. This is probably one of the more popular baskets, or I should say locations, because the baskets are all the same. Nobody in that one. Over here we have Sirocco. Sirocco alternates between the basket and sleeping on top of the electronics. All right. Someone has asked me about the baskets that you see the kitties sleeping in. So I'm going to show them to you. These are actually in pretty good shape. I've had them for quite a few years now. Originally, in 1992, with my first Persians, I found baskets just like this. They're bread baskets, or they're called fruit baskets. And I found them in Pier 1, and Pier 1 then went out of business, or at least they left town. So these baskets lived quite well for, I don't know how long they lasted. Well into the 2000s, when I had all the kittens, or my first bunch of kittens. But then they became so threadbare and horrible that I finally had to get rid of them, and it took me a long time to find I wanted the exact same baskets. They have to be this size, this deep, nice breaded baskets. So I bought a stack of them, and now these are the ones that I still have now. I have since then learned how to protect them a little bit better, because, well, they get lined with cat fur, as you can see here. And this is just a basket someone gave me. It's a nice basket, and as you can see, it's also used. So this is what we do here. The objective was to find puppy pee pads that were quilted and didn't fall apart when you cut them, because many of them do. In other words, they're only attached on the ends and not quilted throughout the center. So when you cut them, they just fall apart. So I'm not sure which brand this is. Lola Bean, I think. In any case, they work really well. And to make them nice and round, I cut a little template. As you can see, this template has been used many times. And folding the pad in quarters, into quarter, and then you put this in the corner, and then when you cut it, actually I cut it out the side, about 2 inches out the side here, and when it's cut, it makes a very nice round piece of padding. And although you could rip it apart, it holds together pretty well because it's quilted inside. And then you put it inside the basket, like so. And clip the sides. Now, I actually started this, those of you who remember Koi Koi, who unfortunately is no longer with us, she had started peeing in these baskets for reasons only she knew. And I had to shelve the baskets for a while because, you know, you just can't have these all soaked up all the time. They are machine washable, but they're going to eventually wear down in the washer. So I eventually came upon this idea, which worked very well. And the clips are just, they're just, I think, chip clips. I got most of them either at Bed Bath & Beyond or Safeway. They come in packages of, you know, several. Obviously, I went a little overboard on the clips, but I have quite a few baskets. So I protect this basket as well. As you can see, this one also needs to be changed. We'll change that one out. It barely fits that basket, but it's big enough. I also have the top of, this is a cat scratching post. I used to have one of those tall climbers, which I also bought in the early 90s, and it was worn out. I rebuilt it, recovered it a couple of times, and then finally replaced it with these shorter ones. I got one here, and there's also one in the sunroom. And I also wanted to protect its bed, which, you know, can get pretty grungy with cat hair and vomit and various other things. So anyway, I use the same round pieces, but to hold it in place, since the clips are not going to work, this is just, this is the kind of stuff you line kitchen shelves with. I just cut a strip of it and then Velcroed the end of it so that it would hold the liner in place. Here's the other one, same thing here. The two liners here look pretty clean and pretty new, so end up when they get too grungy or thin or whatever, then we just replace them.